asshole. Not all landlords are assholes, but this guy is. So this is about him, and if it applies to yours, well, how bizarre. These are titled Landlord King. The first piece is called Prig Face. When my landlord is king, he will have every Tuesday serve as his fun day. He will have us amass a squadron of cats and whip them with chain and record the song. This will be his alarm to sound whenever he enters discos. He will dance and think of vomit. This cantilever street. He shows that he is no clown, this landlord with his exposed 48-year-old biceps, riding a bicycle in a river of junk, cackling about the little children beyond him, falling and cutting their legs on the rock juts. He instead is clever and rodent, a thief too, some special speck of shit that devolves as it grows, until becoming a flywing sputters off into a despicable woman's mouth and passes into her bowels. The summons of none. He defends himself as he lives it up downtown LA with girls half his age spilling wine on their tight pants and chanting, "Go, go, go." He defends himself and should be so polite as to drown someday. Become an effigy of rock, tumbling and trapping the anchors, feet, shores, and beautiful. He defends himself in a taxi cab and runs away before paying his fare. Killing. When I find him so alone at 80, 60 or so, I'll be so wise as to tumble him a river fair and make a headstone of his glorious death. And there, my first rental agreement. And I will write a new name, Dipshit. And dance a curse so that his fallen bones might arise and find their way into one of his apartment's closets, and there we will hang like a splendid suit for whatever tenant to wear. And they will toss him in the trash. Yes, it's evil. Hatred for hatred. This guy comes down the mountain in a black convertible and dives into a cafe and ogles the girls and begs his ex-wife to let him see his children. It's his turn this week. His snail face is creeping, and he must release all enzymes convincing of affection. He is original in the way he does not refuse to dandy in the gym when he's puffing his cheeks. He is original in carrying studiously while conducting himself around young blondes. He is a con man in a bright blue tux hoping someone falls asleep soon. Mountain guy. The mountain guy he is, someday, finds himself at summit drinking a cask of Amontillado and grinning eager down at a pack of bears caught on a narrow pathway. He kicks rocks down and watches the beast tumble. He plants a flag with his name on it. As he departs, the wind blows it down and shoves its sharp end into his tibia. Epistolary daredevil. He reckons large and bright with his black pen on the letter, with his masthead pronouncing that he is a civil servant. Yes, he makes rules like, please feed me macaroni when I arrive in the town late and lonely, and give me some of your underwear to stuff into my mouth. Take me into your pantry and pelt me with open cans of tomato sauce. His rules are tiny creatures at his feet. Farewell, miscreant. He is invincible and will never die. He is king right now. Consumed cell phones, dancing dust into a cockroach corner, tabulating water usage, seeping mop in some girl's bathtub, and rubbing his flesh garishly across the parking lot. The landlord king does a backflip from a balcony and breaks his neck for fun. He lives abandoned and refuses conference with his father. He eats a dozen small children and prays while their clothes burn in his furnace. He wages a war on silence and believes his smooth crinkle of fingers is sufficient to defeat his foes. And he is best left off, not even mentioned, despite his grimace and his extraordinary teeth.
I
don't like him.
This next one is called, again, another 6 more hours. This is about a man who was lost between his worst disorders which is insomnia and OCD. Tonight is at backwards noon, the moon drawing first wing. I respond with 2 winks, then grin twice as I step forward onto the cold sidewalk, and feelings emerge. Mending the pain, I stand on the concrete wound. Warmth gathers at the soles of my boots, and I grin again. I then share the sound of the moon, the quiet clouds, and the growling stomach of the night cricket. I am surrounded by yellow tile and forced into fog glass, killing time by planning to scratch off the face fur. Intimacy built at the end of a sharp iron, and a new grin is revealed. Anxiety races through my veins and camps north of the brain. I must now plan war with the meds and face my fear. White, brown, white, 246, yes, 246, I say with my relief. My unconscious desires to feast on voice sex creeps in and numbers add on to my uncontrollable fetish. 3:30 a.m., now tickling the hairs on my wrist, and I hang up the visa fed phone hum. I am becoming aware of the day like a coyote, and late night meat is reserving a room in my belly. Before I map out the nightly 2 blocks west, I must defeat my efforts to shake and greet the goodbye door. My feet strike like a mat as I glide strategically down the street, finally reaching the glowing stove, dressed up in number 59. Selecting the booth facing the swinging hot board, I can eye the small smiles of Nellie. She understands that my mind is on crutches and knows the signs to my departed meal. In 2 hours, a morning glow will rise from the south, and my chances on seeking into a black dream is thin. I am battling sheep, and my radio is suffering from the cold. Panic begins to build behind my eyes. My reading